Hello, homeschool moms. Today I want to share with you our new homeschool routine. We just finished up with Christmas break, and now we are ready to start back up in school. Actually, we've been going for several weeks now with a new routine. Actually, we started this routine before Christmas because things were starting to get a little crazy, and I had thought about starting this after Christmas, and I went, that's it. We need to just reboot and start over, even though we're going to take Christmas break in 2 weeks. So we've actually been doing this routine for about 5 or 6 weeks now total. And we are loving it. The kids are loving it. I'm loving it. It has just worked so well for us in this second half of the school year. So I'd love to know, have you implemented a new routine or schedule in the middle of the school year to kind of give you a fresh start after things have gotten a little crazy, or maybe you've gotten a little sluggish or things have slowed down and you just needed a fresh start? So let me know in the comments if you've switched routines as well. But what I have found in my 15 years of homeschooling is that there are different routines and schedules for different seasons for different families. I have had so many different schedules and routines that have worked so well for my family in one season, and then after a while it doesn't work anymore, and I think that was working perfectly. What happened? And it's just a different season, different needs, more children, less children that I'm homeschooling, and so we need to try something different. So if you're interested in knowing about some of the other schedules and routines that I've done, I will leave links to those down below. But this one is working great for the kids and I in this season, and I'm actually surprised by how much the kids are liking this. So I'm sharing it with you to kind of inspire you, maybe give you some new ideas, but know that this schedule that we have is probably not going to be the one that's going to work perfectly for you, because your family is different, your kids are different, your needs are different. But I think it's always fun to hear about different homeschool routines, just kind of to give us a new, fresh look at how things could be. Sometimes we just get stuck in a rut and we need to go, oh, that's right, we could be doing it differently. So for my family, what I have found is if I want a homeschool routine to work on any given day, I need to start the night before. And what I mean by that is I need to make sure that I'm getting to bed on time. I need to make sure that my kids are getting to bed on time. I need to make sure that our school area is at least somewhat tidied up so the kids can actually get to the table to do their schoolwork in the morning. It even helps me to have some things tidied up in the evening to make sure the kids have some kind of clothes to wear in the morning. Although, as homeschoolers, we know if there's no clean clothes, it's okay, 1, to stay in your pajamas, or 2, wear the dirty clothes from yesterday, because nobody's going to know except those in your family, and we are not going to tell anybody. Just if I want to have a good homeschool day, I need to start the night before and make sure that my kids and I are getting to bed on time so that we can get up and get going, and also that our homeschool area is somewhat cleaned up. The kids play in the playroom and classroom. For us is kind of the same thing. And so when the school day is over, the kids play, and they usually play and set up toys all over the table and under the table and around the table and on the chairs, and they move the chairs to make forts. And so if we don't clean that up the night before, then in the morning, either it's such a mess that nobody really wants to start school because we have to clean it up first, or they see this really cool fort or something that they've made and they want to go play with it instead of starting school. So it just helps to get that at least a little bit tidied up the night before. Now, if I don't get my kids to bed on time the night before, I do adjust the schedule, and I do let people sleep in a little bit, and we shift everything, because there are some nights that, we're having a fun time as a family, and we want to keep playing a game, or, we have company over, or there's an activity that we do and we just don't get to bed at the time that we need to. And so one of the great things about homeschooling is we can adjust. We can be flexible, and I can let them sleep in a little bit more and just shift our routine back a little bit. So Definitely flexibility for us, but I do try to get us all to bed at a reasonable hour so that we are rested and ready for the next school day. So here you go. Here's our daily homeschool routine most days. I am getting myself up about 6 a.m. So that from about 6 to 7:30, I have about an hour and a half in theory to myself. Now I say in theory because I have little ones. And for some reason, if I sleep in, they sleep in. And if I get up early, they get up early. I don't know how that works. Somebody tell me how that works. They know when I stick my foot out of bed and it touches the floor. But I am trying to get up at 6 so that I have some time to myself. Doesn't always happen every day, but I still use that time to spend in the Word, to read my Bible, and to spend some time in prayer. If I have a child that is up with me, then they come along with me and they sit with me, and I will usually read the Bible passage that I'm reading out loud to them. I pray out loud with them. I have a Bible that is kind of my study Bible that I keep somewhat nice, and I have another cheaper Bible that I highlight in and mark up, and so I let them hand me the different color markers and all that kind of thing. But I don't say, hey, they're up, forget my time in the Word. It's not going to happen. I just bring them in with me. And is that ideal? No. Do sometimes I get frustrated and angry, like, Lord, I'm getting up early, and then you to spend time with you, and then this little one interrupts. Oh yeah. But let me tell you, when I'm in the Word, I am convicted of those feelings, because it's really self-centeredness, and I'm just being selfish and I'm not considering what the Lord might want to do. So a little side note here before I jump back into our routine, but let me just tell you, the times that my little ones have come in when I'm in the Word, while it might not seem like a blessing to me or to them at the time, I am noticing over time now that my little ones are now modeling getting up and being in the Word. And so my little 2-year-old, if he wakes up and I've already had my time in the Word, he'll say, hey Mom, can you read the Bible story to me? Can you read the Bible to me? Can I pray with you? He wants that now. He knows that should be a part of our mornings, and he wants that. And so I'm so thankful that he interrupted my quiet time numerous times, because I guess what God wanted was for me to set an example for him. And so, don't underestimate what God's going to do when we have to bring our children in with us in our time alone with the Lord, and make it not time alone with the Lord, time with the Lord plus a child or 2 children. I think the Lord is going to end up using it to bless us, to bless our children, and I think it honors him as well. So all that to say, I get up 6 to 7:30, have my time in the Word. I'm getting dressed and things like that. I'm hoping to start being able to start doing some exercise as well. I know that I need some physical activity a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing in the morning, 6 to 7:30. At 7:30, I get my kids up. I go wake them all up. And they have from 7:30 to 9 to get themselves ready. At 9 o'clock, we start school. So they need to get up and, get dressed, have breakfast, brush their teeth, and do their morning chores before 9. Some of my kids know that when I come in at 7:30, they throw on clothes and do their chores and eat really fast. And so they know that they can lay in bed till 8:15 or something, and then get up. Some of my kids know that it takes them a full hour and a half to get ready and do their chores and eat. So they need to pop right out of bed at 7:30. But we start school at 9. Now, when my kids are getting up and get dressed and having breakfast, obviously I'm helping. I've got little ones. I'm helping them get breakfast. I'm helping them get dressed, brush their teeth. I'm also trying to get some laundry started, a load of laundry. I usually do 2 to 3 loads of laundry every single day. So try to get some laundry started. And I have found, because I'm already up and dressed and ready, or at least dressed for the fact that I'm going to be home. So maybe that's staying in my pajamas all day. and pulling my hair back all oily and greasy. But I'm ready. Like, I don't need to get ready anymore. I'm ready for whatever I'm going to do that day. I actually am having time to even think about doing some meal prep for dinner, or making some granola bars or muffins for my kids before the school starts. You know, that while they're eating, I can be in the kitchen helping them get breakfast and making some things. So God is reminding me that when I get up before my kids, it really does set a tone for the day, and I am so much more productive. Now, that doesn't mean, there are times when I just couldn't get up, seasons where I couldn't get up early and I needed to roll out of bed with the kids. But this is a season where God's saying, Janelle, you can get up early. You're not pregnant. You're not nursing. All your kids are sleeping through the night. Everybody has been healthy. So you can get up and, have the time in the Word and get ready. And it's really been setting a great, it's been just setting a great pace for our day. So by 9 o'clock, hopefully the kids are done with their chores and we start school. From 9 to noon is the big chunk of our school day. So my older kids are getting started on their schoolwork. The younger ones are playing. I might be switching out laundry, answering questions, maybe teaching a lesson to one of the kids. But because my kids are either working independently, well, they're all working independently for most of their subjects. Some of them are working independently using just various different curriculums that allow them to work independently from like textbooks and stuff. My younger ones are all doing BJU, press, distance learning videos. And so that really allows them to get the instruction from somebody besides me. So the older kids are working independently, and that's been really helpful in this season of life because it gives me time to spend with my younger ones. I've got one now that's 5, so next year he'll start kindergarten. So I'm starting to do a little bit of school with him and work one-on-one with him. So it's just been nice that the older kids are doing school more independently. Allows me time to just go around and answer questions without getting too stressed out and feeling like, okay, I'm trying to teach this person, but that person has a question. I mean, I've done that before, but I'm glad to be in a season where I'm not there right now. And I get to play with the little ones and, keep the laundry going and things like that. So that's from 9 to noon. I should say somewhere in there, the kids grab a snack. So I kind of just let them know when you're hungry, this is what's for snack. You can go grab it when you want to. And they usually take it back and eat it while they're doing their schoolwork. They are more than welcome to take a little break and eat their snack and not do school, but most of them want to keep plugging away so that they can try to be almost done, if not completely done, by noon. So from noon to 2, we take a break. We take 2-hour break and we have lunch, and the kids just have some free time to play. And some of my kids after lunch want to do schoolwork, and there are times when I say, okay, if you want to do schoolwork, that's fine, but I am not helping. I need from noon to 2 to not be thinking about school and to be making phone calls, getting my little one down for a nap, making lunch, cleaning up from lunch. I have other things that I need to focus on, and I need to not be juggling with school. So I let them know if they want to do school, fine, but it can't be anything that they need help from me on. And I do try to encourage them, especially in the spring and the fall, that this is a great time to just go outside and play and get some energy out, get some fresh air, get some exercise. So that's what we do from noon to 2. Now at 1:30, I put my little one down for a nap, and he sleeps about 2 hours, so he's usually up about 3:30. At 2 o'clock, we jump back into school. And some of my children are done at noon. And so they don't have to jump back at school. They can just keep playing and having free time. Some of my kids only have, usually just one subject left to do. A lot of times it's the subject that I have to do with them, that I'm going to be teaching them, because we save that for when the little one's napping, so I can have some more kind of uninterrupted time with them to teach them. Usually everybody is done by 3 o'clock, but I let them know that we are going to work. If there's still schoolwork to be done, we are going to work till 4 o'clock. If 4 o'clock comes around and I still have children that are working, doing their schoolwork, and they still have more to do, then if they have been diligent and they really have been working hard and they have not been goofing off, I let them know they can be done. 4 o'clock, you're done. Sometimes they just had a heavier workload in something. Sometimes we got sidetracked just as a family on something. Somebody was learning something. We all got excited and we watched the science experiment. We did it together, or we all wanted to read the lesson. And I want my kids to enjoy learning. I want to be able to take little rabbit trails every now and then. So if I was the reason, or something fun and exciting that was educational was the reason that we took some rabbit trails and they didn't get their schoolwork done, then they can be done at 4 o'clock. Another reason that I'm okay with saying you're done at 4 o'clock, even if you haven't done all your schoolwork, is if it was one of the older kids who was helping me. If there was just some craziness going on and they were, helping to care for a younger one, or helping, one of their school age siblings with an assignment because I was busy, doing whatever with the younger ones, helping them go to the bathroom or dealing with the conflict or something. And so if I feel like they were being helpful or loving and caring for a sibling, or doing something that needed to be done, maybe the toilet got backed up and they were willing to go unclog it and clean up the mess, then I let them be done at 4 o'clock. Now, if I have a child who has been whining and complaining, who has been wandering around and not focused on their schoolwork and wasting time and goofing off, then at 4 o'clock I say, guess what? You wasted all morning when you could have been doing school. So you're going to have to keep plugging along until you finish. And they have to keep working. Now, that rarely happens because they know that's the rule and they don't want to have to keep doing school after 4 o'clock. But that happens sometimes. And I do want to teach my kids that laziness doesn't pay off. That if they're goofing off and not staying focused and they're being lazy, that doesn't mean that at 4 o'clock they can just be done with school and, I never got to that subject because I goofed off and yay. No. If you're going to be lazy, then you can keep plugging along for the rest of the day, right up till dinner or bedtime. But that rarely happens for us. So school is usually done by 3, but definitely by 4 o'clock if everybody's been diligent and focused and staying on task. And then they just have free time the rest of the evening. We usually try to eat dinner around 6 o'clock. Around 7 o'clock, we're usually done with dinner, and the kids do their evening chores. And we have family time, baths if kids need baths. I try to get all the kids in bed, lights out, by 9 o'clock so I can be in bed by 10. That doesn't always happen, but that's kind of the goal. And if you have watched some of my other videos or read my blog, I talked a little bit about chores. And we used to do chores in the morning and after lunch. And with this routine, what we changed was we no longer do chores after lunch. From noon to 2, I really want my kids to eat lunch and to go play and to get energy out. What I was finding is when they were doing chores, sometimes, they dragged out the chore and they didn't have any time to play. And while, it's their fault because they dragged out the chore, on the flip side, they're now full of energy and they're not going to focus on school when we have to come back to school at 2 o'clock. So I would just much rather them eat lunch and go play. So I just bumped those chores that we did in the afternoon, I bumped them to the evening. So after dinner, we just have after dinner chores. We have evening chores that they do. So they do something in the morning, they do something in the evening, and that's worked really well for us. And it's kind of motivated the kids to get their lunch finished and then just get outside and have fun playing, or do something inside if the weather isn't good enough to go outside, which we are now realizing that there are times when it's kind of cold in the winter and you don't want to go outside. Here in Idaho, we're not familiar with that coming from sunny Southern California, but we're learning how to do fun things and get energy out inside even when it's cold outside. So anyways, that is our homeschool routine for right now. It's working really well for us. I feel like I'm way more productive and the kids are enjoying it. The thing they're liking the best about it is that 2-hour break at lunchtime from noon to 2. They really like having a big break. At first, they were like, I don't want to take a break. I just want to keep going and get schoolwork done. But now they're really looking forward to having a large break between doing school, and it actually really motivates them to try to get all of their schoolwork done before noon. But there's just something about, for the kids and for me, just to know for 2 hours we can't even think about school. We're going to do something else, and it just allows them to be creative, to have fun, to be kids, to do something they enjoy before coming back to school. And I find that they're much more focused when we come back at 2 o'clock, and I feel like I'm less stressed. When we did school, we had lunch, we did chores, and then we jumped right back into school, I just felt like I was just constant, and I had, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just scatterbrained. I was all over the place, and I just feel like I never had time to decompress and get ready for more school. It was just go, 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 go. And so I'm really enjoying this nice break in between as well. It means I get to enjoy putting my little one down for a nap, and then I can just have some time to make phone calls or read a book or do something, watch the kids play a game with them. It's just a nice break for us. So that's our homeschool routine that we're using right now. I did a blog post on this exact homeschool routine. So if you want to go check that out, you can. It's all nicely laid out for you. I know sometimes it's hard to follow when somebody's sharing it on video, but over on my blog, it's all listed out with the times and exactly what we're doing at each time. So I will leave that linked down below. Love to hear from you. Again, did you change up your homeschool routine or schedule in the middle of the year? And what did you do? Did you get more structure? Did you give yourself more flexibility? Love to hear from you.